Hello and welcome to the third part of this first-person character tutorial series. In this series, we're going to be in this episode, we're going to be combining the gun animations with the arm mesh animation, so they all work in tandem with each other. Now, if you don't have this animation set, you might not have these animations, so obviously you won't be doing this, but this will work with any pack, really, this method, as long as you've got some gun animations, or of course you can go into Blender or Maya and make your own gun animations if you know how to do that. So we'll open up the rifle animation folder, and I've had a look through these, and we've got some montages, but I want to avoid using montages until another sort of intermediate tutorial series. So we're going to just use the animations with the green at the bottom. So the blue are the montages, and the orange ones are the code ones. Now, I've been playing around with this a little bit and I made some mistakes, so all this stuff, just ignore that. You won't have this. I was just playing around and that didn't work. So what we're going to do is, it's really simple actually. What we're going to do is we're going to open up the player and we're going to go to this reload event. Okay, so I've already like I say, made a start with this. Now what we need to do, I'll just delete this, is we need to go to the rifle or wherever your animations are stored, because now they're stored in these animations are applied to the rifle skeletal mesh, so you need a reference to that, and then you just type play animation. It's as simple as that. Plug that in, and then when this all happens, this, just before the delay, will play the animation on the skeletal mesh of the gun, and it should all be in time with each other. And like I said, I've played around with it and it is. So you can go here and select the animation you want, or you can minimize this, come to your animation folder, pick the animation, make sure it's selected, and then go back and then just hit this arrow and it'll apply that there. Right, so if we hit compile and play, now if I hit reload, okay, so the animation is totally in time with that. Now there is a problem with this that I've noticed, but I was going to remove it anyway. So if we just shoot all our bullets, just got to get through it because you know it's all timed out. There's a problem with the timing there. Now I'm not 100% sure what's causing that, but I was going to take out the auto reload anyway because I prefer it if the player has to do the reloading. But for some reason, I think it's because of the event tick. Somehow the event tick is speeding up some of this. I don't know if that's true, but if we wanted to, we could figure this out. But for now, what I'm going to do is just disconnect that, and we might spend some time figuring that out in another video. But for now, I just want to go ahead and add some more animations to the gun. So it comes with a fire animation. Reload montage, shoot. This one, rifle shoot. Okay, now if we open that up, we can see that it's actually got some particle effects already applied to it. It has a muzzle flash, and a bullet cartridge is expelled out the side. So we could go and set all that up, and it wouldn't be really difficult to do. We just need to go to our player BP, go to our rifle. I'll show you how you would set up a socket for this. So you'd go to the rifle, you'd right click, you won't right click on it, you'd select it, and then you'd go to add a scene component, and you would call that muzzle, not muscle, muzzle flash. Call it muzzle flash, and then you would make sure that it was inherited to the gun, because the gun already has a muzzle socket, and then you can see that would pop right there. Okay, and then all you would have to do is use the scene world location to spawn your emitter. But in this case, they've actually done it in an animation, like they've put in here, you can just add particle effects and add them into your animation itself. So that's a cool way of doing it, but a more advanced way, and we'll be going on to this sort of stuff later on. But this is just the same sort of thing when we set up that animation notification state for the damage. This is a similar sort of thing. So this is really fun to play around with, and we'll definitely get around to that. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use this animation. Okay, so I'm going to click, make sure I've got it selected, then I'm going to go back into my player BP, and I'm going to set this up in the event graph rather than in the fire bullet function itself. So here, I'm going to do it here. I've already created some space. So again, I need to grab the rifle, and I need to type play animation. Now I should already have this selected, so if I just click on this little arrow, it pops in there. Okay, and then hit compile. And then hit play. And now we've got the muzzle flash and the bullet casing flying out the side. Okay, now I just want to go over some stuff because in between the video I did a little bit of bug fixing that I realised I should have done on screen. So if you are following along, I just want to show some changes that I've made. Okay, so I've put in this check here, this branch check, because what we're doing is we are setting fire to be true here, and then in the event graph we're setting it to be false. So what I'm checking for is fire must be false in order for you to fire again. Otherwise you could just spaff it and the timing's going to get out of whack. I think that's everything I did that was important. I think I changed the duration of this delay a little bit as well. I increased it a little bit because I found it to be a little bit slow. But now the shooting is really solid. So one shot, the muzzle flash and everything is properly in time. We hit R, the reload animations are all in time with each other. It's looking really good. Now one thing I want to try this video is to set up an automatic mode. Now I start teaching in a minute, so I've only got 5 minutes for this, but I thought it would be relatively easy to do if we can find some space to do it. So I'll just drag all of this down a little bit, because we want to come off this fire, right? So when we press fire, we want to check to see if we're in full auto. So I'm going to create a variable, a boolean called full auto, and we want to check to see if that is true. So just get a whole B for a branch. So if full auto is true, so we're just going to quickly set it up. This is going to change the way this bullet functions, and we'll set full auto, we'll compile it and set it to be true. In fact, oh no, yeah, let's do that. So yeah, set that to be true. And we've got a variable called fire, which we'll need for this. So let me just double check how this is working in here. So we set fire to be true. Yeah. So I think what we want to do is set, if in this instance, if this is true, if full auto is true, and this is pressed, then we want to set fire to be true. Now we're just going to delete that, because we're going to use that on released, because in this case we want to turn off fire when we release the button. And then we have a delay, which is the length. In this case, yeah, we still need the delay, I think, because that plays out the animation. And after the delay, we want a branch that checks to see if fire is still true. And if fire is still true, if you're still holding the button, then come back here and check all this again. But if we let go of the button, it should stop. Let's give that a try. So I hold down the button. Yep, continuously fires. I let go, it stops. Okay, so that's full auto mode. I'm not 100% sure those animations are all perfectly in time with each other. We might need to have a delay, a short delay, so the actual cast of the line trace is exactly when the gun fires. But yeah, that looks fine for now. Okay. But what that's not doing for some reason is taking anything off the ammo, which is odd. But I think we're going to have to figure that out in the next one. I'll just have a quick look though. Fire bullet. Okay, because it's here, right? Delay next shot, checked. Fires false. Yeah, so that is causing a problem. Let's just get rid of that. Plug that into there and see if that then works on the reload. Yeah. That's better. Okay, so what we'll do in the next one is we will actually then break those down into two separate modes so that we can swap between them, so that we can have normal fire mode and then you hold it down and it'll fire. Okay, alright, I'll see you in the next one.